Have you ever looked back on a moment and thought, damn, if I had known then what I know now? Yeah, we all have. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. Most men don't learn these lessons until it's too late, until the woman's gone, until the silence feels heavier than the noise, until the mirror shows a man he barely recognizes. And that's why I made this. Not to hurt you, but to wake you up. Because if someone had grabbed me by the shoulders years ago and whispered these 7 truths into my ear, a lot of pain could have been avoided, a lot of time could have been saved, and a lot of fake people would have never had a seat at my table. But it's not too late for you. You're here, you're listening, and I'm going to give you the raw, unfiltered lessons that can shift your entire path, if you let them. So listen closely. These aren't quotes for your Instagram bio. These are warnings carved from real scars. You ready? Oh, and before we continue, I've got something special for you. A free ebook, The Female Mind Control Handbook. It reveals the hidden secrets to making any woman crave you. Grab it now. Link in the description or pinned comment. Let's begin. 1. Chasing women will never fill the void inside you.
Stop chasing women and build yourself first. Listen, you will never be able to truly focus inward if you are constantly chasing women. If you're texting this girl, meeting up with that girl, all while thinking about some other girls, you will never be focused. And once you channel your focus into what really matters, everything else will fall into place.
Let's get the hard truth out of the way, the one most men never hear until it's too late. Chasing women is not the answer. It feels good in the moment, the thrill, the attention, the validation. It all hits like a drug. But that's exactly what it is, a temporary high masking a deeper hunger. And when that high wears off, you're back where you started, maybe even worse. There comes a time in every man's life when he realizes you don't attract what you chase, you attract what you become. You spend your early 20s trying to impress her. Clothes, cars, trying to be charming, trying to say all the right things. But deep down, it's rooted in fear. The fear that you're not enough as you are. The painful lesson? Women respect men who respect themselves. They're drawn to the ones who don't need them. Not out of arrogance, but from a quiet self-assurance that says, I'll be fine, with or without you. It's not that women don't matter. It's that they're not supposed to be your mission. When you make them the mission, you lose the plot of your own story. And when you do that, you lose yourself. The man who spends his life chasing is never still, never grounded, never full. He's a man who lives in reaction to others, instead of action for himself. Want her to stay? Stop running after her. Build something so powerful she runs out of reasons to leave. This is the gut punch most men don't get until they've already lost money, time, and peace of mind. So here's the lesson. Stop chasing people. Start chasing purpose. Because when you build a life so rich in meaning, love becomes the byproduct, not the pursuit. And let me tell you, once you taste the freedom of that, there's no going back. You don't have to be bitter, just better. 2. Not everyone deserves access to you. This one stings the most, because for most of your life, you've been taught to be available, to be liked, to be the good guy. You opened the door for everyone, friends, women, co-workers, family, thinking being selfless made you noble. But here's the brutal truth. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people come into your life just to drain it. They don't want you. They want your time, your resources, your loyalty. And once they've sucked you dry, they move on, as if you were just a free trial. You ever notice how some folks only call when they need something? Or how that one woman only reaches out when things don't work out with the other guy? That's not coincidence. That's design. You became too accessible and people treated you accordingly. You don't need to be cruel. You just need boundaries. See, there's strength in being unavailable, in saying number. In walking away from drama you used to run toward. Most men don't learn this until they've wasted years trying to prove themselves to people who never deserved them in the first place. And here's where Stoicism becomes a superpower. When you master the ability to be calm, composed, and selective, people notice. You stop chasing validation and start commanding respect. It's not about ego, it's about self-preservation. You don't let someone stay in your life just because you've known them forever. If they make your mind heavy, your soul tired, or your peace unstable, you let them go. You're not being mean, you're being wise. Energy is like currency. Every moment you spend trying to fix, explain, or prove yourself to someone who doesn't even see your value, that's energy you could have spent building the life you actually want. And if you're constantly drained, constantly distracted, constantly surrounded by takers, how can you become the man you're meant to be? So here's the lesson. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. You are not a rescue boat. You are a lighthouse. You guide, not chase. You stand firm, not flail in the waves. Not everyone deserves access to you. The sooner you learn that, the freer you'll be. 3. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. This one's harsh, but it's also the most liberating. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you anything. You could be the kindest man alive, loyal, hardworking, honest, and still get passed over, ghosted, or betrayed. That doesn't mean the world is broken. It just means life doesn't hand out rewards based on effort alone. Most men waste precious years waiting for recognition, waiting for a woman to finally see their worth, waiting for their boss to promote them, waiting for life to feel fair. But life isn't fair. It's indifferent. The sooner you accept that, the faster you'll stop acting like a victim and start moving like a warrior. Now, here's the powerful twist. Once you accept that the world doesn't owe you anything, you stop waiting for permission. You take responsibility, total, radical responsibility. And that's when everything changes. You stop whining. You start building. You stop resenting others. You start respecting yourself. The man who believes life should be fair is always bitter. The man who understands that nothing is promised, he becomes dangerous, focused, clear. Stoicism teaches us this every day. You are not in control of outcomes, only your actions. And guess what? That's enough. When you drop the entitlement, you become unstoppable. You stop measuring your life by what happens to you, and you start measuring it by how you respond. She didn't text back? Cool. You stayed grounded. They didn't pick you for that job? Fine. You'll build your own opportunity. Because you've already learned the core truth. Expectations are the enemy of peace. You want to be free? Let go of the idea that life owes you clarity, fairness, or comfort. It doesn't. But it does give you one sacred thing, the power to choose how you show up, no matter what. And that's where real power lives. 4. Peace is more valuable than attention. When you're young, attention feels like oxygen. You crave the likes, the compliments, the flirty texts. You want to be seen, desired, wanted. It makes you feel alive. But here's the truth. Most men don't realize until the damage is done. Attention is cheap. Peace is priceless. See, the wrong kind of attention can cost you your sanity. That woman who constantly plays hot and cold, she's giving you attention, but it's toxic. That friend who hypes you up only when it serves him, he's watching but not supporting. That job that praises you but burns you out. It sees you but doesn't value you. And when you confuse attention for worth, you start chasing the wrong things. You sacrifice your peace to keep their eyes on you. But let me ask you, what's the point of being admired if you can't sleep at night? If you're constantly anxious? If your soul is tired? There's something sacred about walking into your space and feeling calm. No chaos, no drama, no games, just clarity. Most men don't chase peace because they've never tasted it. They think grinding non-stop, proving their value, and staying in toxic loops is what it means to be a man. It's not. That's survival. And you're meant for more than survival. You don't need 100 people clapping for you. You need a handful of people who actually care, and your own voice in your head that says, "I'm proud of how I move." Here's the lesson. The man who protects his peace becomes magnetic, not because he's loud, but because he's still. Stillness is strength. When you master that, you don't chase attention. It follows you naturally. 5. Holding back your truth will always backfire. There's a moment every man faces when he wants to say something real, but doesn't. He holds back, swallows his words, pretends it doesn't bother him, smiles when he should have spoken up. And for a while, it feels like the right move. But here's the problem with silence. It builds resentment. You think you're keeping the peace by avoiding confrontation, but really, you're planting seeds of bitterness that will grow into full-blown emotional storms later. Maybe you didn't tell her how much it hurt when she flirted with another guy. Maybe you didn't tell your friend that his jokes cut too deep. Maybe you didn't tell yourself the truth, that you're settling in life and it's slowly killing you. Stoicism is not about emotional suppression. It's about emotional mastery. And true mastery begins with honesty. Your voice isn't just for speaking. It's for setting standards, drawing lines, declaring boundaries, saying, "This is what I allow in my life, and this is what I won't." The longer you wait to speak your truth, the harder it gets, and eventually you explode or collapse. Either way, you lose. Speak up, not to hurt others, but to honor yourself. Because here's the thing, the right people will respect your honesty. The wrong ones will be offended by it. Either way, you win, because you no longer betray yourself to keep others comfortable. And that's real power. 6. No one can save you but you. This is the final bitter truth that hits men like a truck, but if you accept it, you become unstoppable. No woman, no friend, no mentor, no therapist, no guru is coming to fix your life. They can support you, encourage you, guide you, but the decision to change, to evolve, is always yours. You can't outsource the work. You can't delegate the inner healing, and you can't expect someone to love you out of your own self-hate. It's on you, and once that sinks in, once you stop waiting and start moving, you realize you don't need saving. You need discipline, consistency, courage. You need to stop numbing the pain and start sitting with it. You need to stop making excuses and start building habits. You need to stop blaming women, your past, your job, your parents, and start taking extreme ownership. That's Stoicism. Not just calmness in the storm, but control over your ship. The man who saves himself doesn't become bitter. He becomes dangerous, because he knows what it means to rise without applause, to grow without help, and to thrive without permission. So here's the last lesson. You are both the problem and the solution, and that's not a curse, that's your freedom. 7. The woman you want is a mirror, not a savior. Let's talk about something no one wants to admit, especially not men chasing validation. That woman you put on a pedestal. She's not going to fix your emptiness. You think getting her will make you feel enough, that if you could just win her, everything would finally click. The doubts would vanish. The loneliness would go quiet. The shame would dissolve. But here's the truth. She can't give you what you haven't built yourself. The woman you want, the one you dream about, chase, fantasize over, is just a mirror. She reflects where you are in life. If you're whole, you'll attract wholeness. If you're wounded, you'll attract chaos. Simple as that. Here's what most men do wrong. They make her the prize. They revolve their confidence around her response. They beg for her energy instead of building their own. But a high-value woman, the kind you actually want, is never drawn to neediness. She's not impressed by bravado. She senses the fear behind the front. And she walks. The harsh pill? She's not cold. You're just not ready. That doesn't make you worthless. It makes you accountable. It means there's work to do, not for her, but for you. You want her to admire you? Be admirable. You want her to chase you? Stop chasing validation. You want her to respect you? Start by respecting yourself when no one's watching. The love you're looking for isn't outside you. It's what you build by becoming the man who doesn't need to be chosen, because he's already chosen himself. And when you finally become that man, you'll stop wondering if she likes you and start wondering if she's even worthy of standing beside you. Because you'll know, the woman isn't the destination. You are. If even one of these lessons hit you where it hurts, good. That means you're alive, and it means you've still got time to change. But don't just watch this and scroll on. Do something. If you're done letting life pass you by, drop the word enough in the comments. Let the world know you're choosing purpose over pain, growth over games. And if you felt this video in your gut, hit subscribe. This is your corner of the internet where we stop pretending, stop simping, and start rising. You're not alone, brother. Let's keep building.